Jody Sawyer pointed to the television and shook her head. She wanted them to be quiet. Grace looked at her father. "Why don't you wait for a commercial?" he said. He patted the folding chair next to him. Grace sat. "How was your day, sweetheart?" Grace reached into her bag and removed 2 McDonald's bags. She handed one to her father. He grasped the bag in one hand and squeezed her hand with the other, like she'd brought him champagne and caviar. "Actually, pretty wild," she said. "I have news." "Do you mind?" her father said. "Go right ahead." He unwrapped his Big Mac and took a bite. He said. He looked blissful. Grace wanted to bury her face in her sleeve and sob. SpaghettiOs and soap operas and Mickey D's? Didn't they know they deserved better? They were from such a humble generation. Not like the entitled kids of today. Her parents were simple and good people. Let them enjoy what they enjoy. No use forcing kale or tofu burgers on her father now. Grace forced another smile, then reached into the second bag and handed him a napkin. He winked at her and dabbed his mouth. Then his eyes went to her ring finger. "Did the boy finally pop the question?" Grace laughed and stretched out her hand in front of her as if examining it for the first time. She hardly ever wore rings or bracelets. They got in the way of playing the guitar. Maybe now she would start. She would wear silver rings with semi-precious gems like amber and big chunky bracelets. Maybe even grow her nails and paint them pink. Was that a good enough trade for giving up on her dream? Grace slipped her hands under her legs as if she could shut out making any decisions by sitting on them. "Not yet, but you're never going to believe this." The soap opera went to commercial. A jingle for car insurance came on. "Gracie Ann," her mother said. She smiled and opened her arms as if Grace had just walked into the room. "Hi, Mom." Grace got up and hugged her mother. She felt so frail and tiny in Grace's arms. Grace could probably pick her up and carry her around the room without breaking a sweat. Not fair, God, not fair. "You didn't eat your lunch," Grace said, glancing at the SpaghettiOs. "She insisted on them," her father said. "I ate 10 O's, her mother said. "I couldn't possibly eat more than 10 O's. I have to watch my figure." "If you stuck her in the middle of a cornfield, crows would land on her," her father said with his mouth full of burger. "You're not far behind, Dad," Grace said. "Just how we wanted to spend our golden years, hanging out in a farmer's field like a couple of straw men," her father mused in between bites. Anything would be better than this place, Grace thought. She wished she could bring her parents to a beautiful field at the height of autumn, give them trees with leaves on fire and hay that shone like gold underneath an afternoon sun, give them the smell of apples and the embrace of a warm wind. "You look beautiful, Grace," her mother said. Jody Sawyer reached up with a trembling hand and touched the pearls around Grace's neck. "Is it your birthday?" "In a few weeks, Mom." "Happy birthday, darling." "Thank you." "How old are you now? 13? "I'm turning 30, Grace said. "How are you feeling?" "I'm all better now, Gracie. I can go home now." Jody Sawyer looked at her husband Jim as if expecting him to start packing up the room. "I don't think today, Mom," Grace said. Or ever. As much as she tried to shut it out, Grace could hear the doctor's voice in her head in a constant loop. "Maybe a month, 6 months at the most, we can't say for sure. All we can do now is make her comfortable." Make her comfortable? Was there any comfort in knowing you had 6 months, maybe 1? "Gracie said she has some news," Jim said. Her mother clasped her hands under her chin. "I love news," she said. "And fries," she called to her husband. Grace nodded at her father. He picked up the second bag, then passed it up to Jody. It was odd. If Grace gave her the fries before she asked for them, her mother wouldn't touch them. If Grace waited until Jody voiced a desire for them, Jody ate every single one. Just one of the little mysteries.